Hey, what's happening, guys? Tandaro here with another options and play video update. Uh, Middle of March, so well past the point of earnings season, but actually still a few big names. I mean, one of the things that I have been watching for a few weeks now is to see if earnings start to get treated differently. Still not much of a change on that front, at least this past week. So I'll keep watching because that's really going to impact how I start to approach earnings once we get into April and like the start of the new quarter. All right, so definitely a big thing for me is big question mark is, are they going to start rewarding options and they start rewarding these companies if they beat, right? So we'll see. Monday before the open, desktop metal DM pricing about 275. Because it's not really an earnings story just yet, but I guess I'm starting to get more interested in the 3D space again, additive manufacturing names, right? Just because they've gotten hit real hard and starting to firm up a bit. I think I'd prefer to wait out this report, see where the stock is post earnings, then maybe try for like a swing trade versus like taking an earnings trade. All right, after the close on Monday, nothing really of interest. Before the open on Tuesday, JBL. And to be honest, I'm not sure even really going to play this one because it's up a lot going in. So they're priced in about 325. Had a real nice breakout through 45. You can see it keeps extending. So kind of tougher to chase something that's running into 52-week high ahead of earnings. I don't know if you guys saw Oracle, but kind of similar. Jacked it higher. It's 52-week high into earnings and then smashed it when it reported. Um, and I mean, like that pattern just really has not worked well for earnings setup, so I think I'm going to leave this one alone. After the close on Tuesday, Coupa, so a couple software names actually. So about 26 points is what's priced in on this one. Kind of curious to see how software stocks act this coming week. Kind of a nice rebound across the board in tech. Some of the software names, though, didn't really bounce as much as you can see, right? So I'm kind of waiting to see if they get like a leg up or, if they can start to firm up at least. I'd say of the two reporting on Tuesday, I'm a little bit less interested in Coupa just because it's not as consistent of a move around earnings. Plus the option pricing is seems kind of high to me. For a name that really isn't as consistent. So I think if I was going to look at one, I'd probably look at CrowdStrike. So this is like the bigger name. They're pricing in about 20 and a half. I guess to me, what I like about CrowdStrike is that they've crushed it several quarters in a row, so consistent, right? Last quarter was up a lot. I mean, that might be harder to see this time around. Valuation still kind of high, but maybe like a longer dated like position, right, or even like a calendar spread, something like that could maybe work here. Just something to like lessen like the near term risk in favor of like a long term bullish idea, right? Because if the numbers are good and it can hang around above 200, then maybe it could grind higher once tech firms up again. Lennar. So 6 points is what's priced in here. Home builders have started to come to life again, and that's even with like rates moving up still. Um, I, I never really approach home builders like earnings plays. They do occasionally move sometimes, but it's not as consistent. And I think it probably would be like a better swing trade candidate depending on where the stock is after results. But even then, I mean, you can see just based off the chart. I mean, it can be at times like very, very choppy for a trade. So a little bit tougher of like a name just in general. Before the open on Wednesday, KC, so Chinese software name, it's priced in about 6 points. It was a high flying like stock just up until February. Then it's retraced a lot of it. And actually, we rode this, caught a nice trade on it late last year, but I haven't really been focused on it since. I suppose if earnings are solid, it can get back above the 60 level. Like this is kind of the line in the sand for me, 60. Might start to rebuild some momentum. Um, so I think I'm going to hold off, see if it can do that on earnings, and if so, then maybe I'll look at something maybe like out through like April or May, depending on what the pricing looks like at the time. Wednesday after the close, PagerDuty. So the pricing about 6 points. Kind of an interesting one because compared to the last two quarters, option pricing seems low in this. It's moved about 9.5 points the last two quarters on average. So options are pricing in 6. moved on average about 9.5 the last 2 quarters. So obviously they're way underneath what it's moved the last two. Um, so maybe tempted to try a volatility strategy on it, especially if the pricing keeps coming down during the week as well. So kind of high on that one. Williams Sonoma. So about 13 points. What's priced in here? Strong retail name. Been in a tight consolidation. It seems like this one could wake up ahead of earnings and really make a run, considering it's coming off a big beat and the sector is acting well. I guess whether or not there's a play on the report kind of depends on where it is trading the day of its numbers, right? Before they open on Thursday, Dollar General. So about 10 points is what's priced in. I'll be honest, I've just really lost a lot of interest in the dollar store names. This chart, though, is very similar to Costco. It's kind of similar to Walmart, and it seems kind of tough to me as an earnings play. Numbers probably going to be solid, so it's tough to be bearish, but the chart is also broken, so it's tough to be bullish. So I think I'm just most likely avoiding it. All right, Thursday after the close, kind of the main event for the week. Fedex, so 19 points was priced in here. This has been quiet for a couple months, and it seems very coiled out of earnings. It didn't respond great to the last report, but it's also been sideways for basically all of 2021, while many transports have ripped. Seems like a pattern where the stock could run ahead of earnings too, kind of like Williams Sonoma. But if not, and I actually might prefer this, I might take a shot on something speculative bullish because the chart looks interesting. If it does break through the 100-day, seems to be some upside potential. Also, UPS could move off of this, so it might be a possible sympathy play on that. And then Nike, they're in a big name. About 8.25 is what they're pricing in on this. Threw me a head fake recently. I thought when it had rallied and reset that it was going to break out, and then it basically dropped straight down, stopped me out, and now it's kind of grinded back up. So it's closer to 52-week high into earnings. Last quarter was solid, but I don't know what type of upside to expect this time around, because the option pricing seems high and expectations seem a little bit higher. Plus, like retail names that are near their 52-week high going into earnings have been a little bit tougher on earnings. So I think I might avoid it. If it can get through 145, though, I think just from like a technical breakout perspective, it could be interesting. So I'm hoping that if it's good and it trades higher, that'll give me a shot to take a trade through that 145, 146 level. But I don't think I'm actually going to take options into the print. And then Friday before the open, really nothing of interest. So you can see a couple big names, a couple big expected moves. But the main question, kind of like it was this past week and the week before that, is are they going to start rewarding earnings? So we'll have to wait and see. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information on trading earnings with options or swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.